Have you ever heard that everything is energy? That you attract what you vibrate? That the universe responds to your frequency? You might be trying everything. Affirmations, meditation, positive thinking. But something inside you knows something is still stuck. The truth is, through the teachings of Thoth, a powerful sequence has been revealed, with 10 practical ways to raise your vibration and finally break free from the energetic block that keeps you stuck in the same pattern. And the most surprising part? You already carry all of this inside you. Today, I'm going to show you step by step how to activate these methods. And in just the first few minutes, you'll already be able to try one of the most forgotten ones, but one that changes everything. But the last one, the last technique connects all the others and turns it all into real manifestation. Stay with me until the end, because if you miss this final key, you'll keep vibrating on autopilot. How is it possible that you, man who considers yourself separate from the whole, ignore that it is you who moves the world with your hidden thoughts? Before you start thinking that you need to become an enlightened being, heal all your emotional wounds, or go through decades of purification to vibrate differently, stop. That's also a program. It's just another hidden conditioning. And the truth is, it doesn't come from your essence. It comes from an idea created to keep you always feeling not enough, always waiting for one more course, one more healing, one more level, always thinking that now is still not the time. And in the meantime, life keeps passing by. You keep emitting the same frequency, and reality, it keeps responding the same way. But Thoth used to say, the soul's time is not the clock's time. Transformation can happen now, even in the middle of chaos, even in a raw state, even when everything seems wrong. What you need to understand is simple. There's a formula, too simple to seem real, but too powerful to ignore. It wasn't created by modern coaches. It comes from the oldest Hermetic schools, taught in veiled ways during initiation rituals and in alchemical manuscripts. A formula that, when applied consciously, activates the exact frequency that transforms your reality. And that formula is presence plus feeling. This is the first way to raise your vibration. Presence plus feeling. It sounds simple, but it carries a power that only those who practice can feel. Being present isn't just about stopping thoughts of the past or future. It's about being fully embodied in the now, totally surrendered to the experience, without judgment, without distraction. It's feeling what's happening right now with as much awareness as possible. It's truly inhabiting your body, hearing, seeing, breathing, sensing, without filters, without escape. When you enter this state of presence, the mind stops projecting fear of the future or repeating past pain. It calms down, it surrenders, and in that silence, the magic happens. Because in the now, there's no anxiety, no guilt, no story. There's only you, whole, real, deprogrammed. But presence alone isn't enough, because presence without feeling is just observation. It's feeling that activates the vibration. It's feeling that carries energy. It's what sends the information to the field. And here's the key. The feeling needs to be real. It needs to be conscious. You can't fake gratitude. You can't force joy. You have to feel what you feel, and then, within that, choose what you want to cultivate. With presence. The alchemists called this conjunction, when spirit and emotion align in a single direction. When you're aware of what you feel, and even so, choose to vibrate in a higher way. It's not pretending. It's consciously choosing, even if the pain is still there, even if the sadness hasn't passed. It's an act of power, because in that moment, you stop being a slave to reactions, and you start emitting a new frequency. The Corpus Hermeticum says that what you feel in your heart with purity, the universe mirrors with precision. That's not a metaphor. It's literal. The vibration you feel, truly, is read by the field as a command. It's no use just thinking. It's no use just wanting. The universe responds to what you vibrate with real feeling, and that no one can do for you. The first bridge with the invisible is in your body. This is where many people get lost, because they hear the formula, they understand the theory, but they don't know how to bring it into practice. And what was simple starts to seem distant. The mind starts making excuses. I don't know how to feel. I can't connect with the now. This doesn't work for me. But Thoth always taught that the secret is not in the intellect, it's in integration. And integration starts in the body, because the body is the bridge. And it's with the body that transformation begins. You've been doing this since you were born, but almost never with awareness. And it's exactly because of that this very common act carries one of the greatest secrets of practical spirituality. Something so essential it appears in absolutely every ancestral tradition in the world. From Egypt to Tibet, from Kabbalah to yoga, the breath, the breathing. This is the second way to raise your vibration. Conscious breathing. And we're not talking about just breathing for the sake of it. Every living being does that. We're talking about breathing with presence, with intention, with feeling. Using the breath as a key that opens internal doors, moves energy, calms the mind, and cleans the vibrational field. Thoth said that the breath was the bridge between the visible and the invisible, and this is more literal than it seems. In Hermetic texts, the term used was pneuma, a concept that goes beyond physical air. Pneuma was the vital force that circulated between worlds. It was the subtle spirit that animates the body and connects the soul to the material plane. When you breathe consciously, you're pulling in that energy. You're giving passage to the spirit. You're allowing the invisible to pass through the visible. Now, stop for a moment and observe. You are breathing. But are you doing it consciously or automatically? Are you feeling the air coming in? Are you following the expansion of your chest? Are you present in this process? Or are you just letting breathing happen without noticing? That difference is what separates routine from alchemy, distraction from elevation. When you inhale with awareness, you draw in clean energy. When you exhale with intention, you release accumulated charge. This isn't mysticism, it's energetic reality, and your body feels it. The mind slows down, the heartbeat stabilizes, anxiety loses strength, vibration reorganizes. You return to your center, and when you are in your center, you emit a coherent frequency, clear, magnetic, And the most powerful thing about all this? You can do it now, without tools, without rituals, without mantras. You just need to stop and breathe, for real, with the intention of reconnecting, with full attention to each movement, with your heart present in the process. It's in this simple place that your vibration starts to rise. Conscious breathing is also a portal. It puts you in a state of presence almost instantly. And remember the formula: presence plus feeling. Here you have both. When you breathe and feel at the same time, you activate the most stable vibration there is, because it's not based on thought. It's anchored in the body. It's alive. It's available. And if you pay attention, you'll notice that nature always offers tools for reconnection, even when the modern world tries to pull us away from them. Some are in the body, as we've seen. Others are right above our heads, because the sky isn't just a blue backdrop. It's a transmission field, a sacred space where pure frequencies move and where light is not just light. It's information, it's energy, it's living vibration. And on this cosmic stage, the sun is the absolute protagonist. Long before science understood what a star was, ancient civilizations already knew. The sun is more than a celestial body. It is a messenger of the spirit, a direct channel to the cycles of creation, a mirror of awakened consciousness. This is the third way to raise your vibration: conscious sunbathing. But don't confuse this with simply being outdoors. Conscious sunbathing is presence. It's activation. It's recognizing light as both source and vehicle of subtle energy. Thoth called the sun the bearer of life and hidden discernment. And that's not symbolic. In alchemy, it represents inner gold, the awakened state, the soul's shine without veils. And science confirms what the ancients already knew. Exposure to sunlight directly activates the pineal gland, also known as the Eye of Horus in Egyptian symbolism. This gland, besides regulating the sleep cycle, also influences the production of serotonin, melatonin, and other substances that affect your mood, your mental clarity, and even your perception of time. But it goes further than that. When you expose yourself to the sun consciously, you are absorbing photons, light packets, pure energy. That light enters your cells, speaks to your DNA, and activates codes that remain dormant when you live shut in, disconnected, or distracted. And it doesn't take much time. 5 to 10 minutes of conscious exposure, feeling the light touch your skin, breathing deeply, sensing the vibration of nature around you, is already enough to realign your field and restore your inner rhythm. It's as if your body receives a direct command from the source. Remember who you are. In Hermetic practice, this was known as solar absorption. And it wasn't about tanning. It was a silent ritual of communion with the light. The initiate would stand before the rising sun in a state of gratitude and openness, allowing the light to pass through and cleanse them. It was as if the light scanned the field, reorganizing everything that was out of sync. And here's an important point. The sun also recalibrates your perception of time. When you live connected to artificial screens, under cold lights, your body loses reference to its biological rhythm. This affects sleep, mood, metabolism, and especially your connection to the now. Conscious sunbathing restores that sense. It anchors you in Earth's real time, It reintegrates you into the natural matrix. The silent secret of Earth contact. When you allow the sun to recode your field, something even deeper begins to reveal itself. Because if the sky sends, the Earth receives. And it's in direct contact with the Earth that many of the high vibration codes are completed. Have you ever stopped to think about why you feel better after spending time in nature? Why a dip in the river, a walk through the forest, or even walking barefoot seems to relieve something you didn't even know you were carrying? This isn't psychological. This is vibrational. This is the fourth way to raise your vibration, energetic grounding. And the name says it all. Grounding is reconnecting with the Earth's natural field. It's discharging excess accumulated energy and allowing the body to return to its original frequency. Because yes, your body has its own energetic signature, but it's constantly altered by artificial waves around you, stress, cell phones, mental noise, negative thoughts, heavy environments, screens, urban chaos. Thoth taught that the Earth has a living magnetic pulse, an energetic heartbeat that stays in harmony with the cosmic rhythm. And he explained that this pulse, when touched with awareness, acts as a transmuting field. It absorbs the density of what you can't let go, what's stuck in the body, in the mind, in the aura, and it returns alignment. In vibrational alchemy, this was called transmutation through earthly affinity, a kind of healing that doesn't require words or rituals, only surrender. Because the Earth knows what to do. She already does it with the trees, with the rivers, with the animals. She reorganizes, effortlessly, what's out of tune. You feel it when you step barefoot on the grass, the sand, the warm stone. When you touch a tree, when you lie on the ground and feel the weight of your body dissolve. In that moment, the planet's electromagnetic field comes into direct contact with yours, and something begins to realign. But grounding only truly works if done with presence. It's not about walking distracted, listening to music in your headphones, thinking about 1,000 things. It's about stopping, feeling the ground, breathing deeply, noticing the textures, letting your skin absorb the Earth's temperature, letting your thoughts dissolve into the sound of the environment. It's a state of silent surrender. And it doesn't matter where you are, even in a city park, even in a backyard, even leaning against a tree trunk growing alone on the side of the street. The Earth's energy is there. The Earth's wisdom is there. And your field recognizes it. Because the body came from the Earth. The body is Earth in living form. And when that origin is remembered, everything inside you starts returning to its natural rhythm. Many modern symptoms, chronic anxiety, unexplained fatigue, insomnia, irritability, the feeling of always being on alert, have roots in disconnection from the natural field. And many of those sensations begin to fade when you reconnect with the base, with the ground, with the Earth's pulse. You don't need to fight them. You just need to allow the Earth to remind you how to vibrate in peace. Modern science already acknowledges this. Various studies show that direct contact with the ground reduces inflammation, improves sleep, stabilizes the nervous system. But the ancients already knew all of this. They didn't have labs, but they had perception. They had presence. And with it, they accessed what today's world tries to explain with 1,000 graphs, but still can't fully feel. And if all this can happen just from the touch of your feet on the earth, now imagine if there were a way to store that subtle energy, to transform that frequency into something you could literally drink, something that enters your body and carries that vibration to every cell, to every organ, to every inner space that needs to be rebalanced. Imagine being able to bring that energy into your body, not just through touch with the earth, but through something you do every day, many times a day, without even realizing the power in your hands, or rather, in your cup. Because water isn't just a liquid, it's a living matrix, a neutral, receptive, intelligent field, a mirror of what you emit. Water doesn't just hydrate the body, it carries frequencies. This is the fifth way to raise your vibration. Water with intention. And we're not talking about belief. We're talking about real vibration. About a vehicle capable of capturing, storing, and distributing what you feel, think, and declare. Ancient masters knew this long before modern science tried to measure it. Thoth taught that water was one of the fastest vehicles for vibrational transmutation. Because its structure is malleable, its memory is sensitive, and its response is immediate. Now think, if you speak with anger near a glass of water, that frequency is absorbed. If you hold the water with anxiety, or simply drink it quickly without presence, what exactly is entering your body? But if, on the other hand, you hold that same water with intention, if you look at it with respect, if you speak words that emanate love, gratitude, health, that same water changes, silently, deeply. You turn a simple sip into a vibrational remedy. And this doesn't require ritual, religion, or advanced knowledge. It only requires presence, intention, true emotion. Before drinking, breathe. Hold the cup with both hands. Feel that you're communicating with something alive. Say something simple, but with feeling. May this water heal me. May this water align me. Or whatever feels right for you. The secret isn't in the words. It's in the emotional field you activate when you say them. Because what really enters your cells isn't just the chemical composition of the water, but the frequency it carries. When you bless it, you're placing an energetic instruction in it. You're telling your body, it's safe to release. It's time to rebalance. I choose to vibrate in peace. And your body, which is mostly made of water, immediately recognizes it. It obeys. Water becomes more than a resource. It becomes a channel, a transmitter between you and your intention, a way to communicate to your subtle field what you want to manifest. And if you repeat this every day, if you turn this small gesture into a sacred habit, your body starts vibrating differently. Your emotions become more stable. Your mind becomes clearer. Your energy organizes itself. Many ancestral traditions from different parts of the world always practiced this. Shamans would speak words over water. The Egyptians would let water rest under the sun or the moon to absorb specific frequencies. The Greeks used special cups to amplify the vibration of the liquid. But all of them, without exception, knew one thing. Water listens. Water responds. Water transforms. And you can start now. With what you have. With a simple glass. With a phrase from your heart. With 2 minutes of real presence. and you'll notice something change. Your body feels it. Your energy responds. And all of this, though silent, is incredibly powerful. Now, what if you combine that intention with the power of sound? What if, in addition to speaking to the water, you let it hear music, mantras, or words that carry pure frequency? Could the water become even more potent? Could sound shape the invisible in ways that the eyes can't see, but the spirit instantly recognizes? The sound that creates, vibrating reality with the voice. Water recognizes sound, just as the universe recognized the primordial sound in the instant of creation. Nothing arose from absolute silence. The first movement was sound, pure vibration. In Hermeticism, this is called the word, the sound that gave form to the invisible, and it remains alive within you every time you sing, speak, or breathe with intention. This is the sixth way to raise your vibration, music with conscious lyrics. But it's not just any sound, not just any melody, and, most importantly, not empty words repeated on autopilot. The secret is singing with your whole body, with emotion, with presence. Because when you sing a phrase that carries emotional truth, your energy field reorganizes. Sound activates the throat chakra, the point of expression, liberation, and manifestation. It also realigns the nervous system, reducing mental noise and allowing energy to flow more harmoniously. And there's more. When you sing or listen to music with uplifting messages, your subconscious is reprogrammed in a subtle and deep way. This happens because the brain enters a state of receptivity, and in that state, what enters shapes what comes out. That's why many spiritual traditions used mantras, chants, hymns. They knew that sound, repeated with intention, alters the vibrational field, both individually and collectively. But there's a detail few notice. Even if the music comes from the outside, what makes it powerful is what happens inside you while it plays. If you sing with true emotion, with clear intention, with living feeling, you activate sound as a seal. As an ancient fragment attributed to Thoth said, "Words are keys, sound is the seal." It's what locks the command into the field, what crystallizes intention. And this sound doesn't need to be beautiful. It doesn't need to be in tune. It needs to be true. It needs to come from the place where spirit touches matter. It can be a mantra. It can be a simple word sung from the heart. It can be a made-up sound that only you understand. What matters is that it carries your vibration, your emotion, your choice. Now, what if the sound didn't even need to come out of your mouth? What if there were a verb even more subtle, more silent, but infinitely powerful? Because sound also exists in the mind, and every thought is, in fact, a silent word that shapes your field all the time. This is the seventh way to raise your vibration, conscious words and thoughts, because everything begins in the mind, and in Hermeticism, the all is mind. External reality is always a reflection of the quality of internal thought, but thinking positive isn't enough. That's shallow. What changes your vibration is not the content of the thought, but the emotional energy behind it. Affirmations, for example, work as vibrational commands, but only when they align with what you feel. You can repeat 1,000 times, "I am abundant." But if deep down you feel rejected, ashamed, insecure, The real vibration you're emitting is that one. And the universe responds to vibration, not to the phrase. Thoth called words aligned with feeling, living words, because they have emotional engines. They have a life of their own. They don't just inform, they transform. And that's the point. To think with presence, to observe what's running in your mental space, and gradually to replace the automatic noise with conscious declarations. Declarations that carry truth for you. Simple phrases, but felt. I allow. I release. I am presence. It's not about convincing the universe. It's about informing your field, programming your vibration consciously. But there's something that needs to be said here. Even if you sing, affirm, breathe, and meditate, if one energy isn't moved, nothing truly flows, because there's a force stuck in your body right now, an energy that wants to move, and if you don't release it, it becomes blockage. It congests your vibration. The highest vibration, when the heart takes the lead. Your body is trying to tell you this all the time, but you don't listen. Or rather, you haven't learned how to translate the signals. A pain that appears out of nowhere, a fatigue that won't go away, a tension that insists on staying in the same spot. This isn't just physical. These are unprocessed emotions, situations you swallowed, words that got stuck, decisions you avoided making. All of that turns into stagnant energy. And stagnant energy makes your field sick. It blocks your vibration. It distorts your perception. Your body is trying to tell you this all the time, but you don't listen. Or rather, you haven't learned how to translate the signals. A pain that appears out of nowhere, a fatigue that won't go away, a tension that insists on staying in the same spot. This isn't just physical. These are unprocessed emotions, situations you swallowed, words that got stuck, decisions you avoided making. All of that turns into stagnant energy, and stagnant energy makes your field sick. It blocks your vibration. It distorts your perception. This is the 8th way to raise your vibration: conscious body movement. It's not about working out. It's not about performance. It's about presence in motion, walking with intention, dancing with freedom, stretching while breathing deeply, feeling the body from within. Thoth said that the body is the temple of the spirit, and like every temple, it needs to be cared for, respected, and used as a channel. When you move with awareness, the flow of chi, or prana, as it's called in the East, starts to circulate. Vital energy reorganizes, blockages begin to dissolve. And here is the most important point. The movement doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be felt. The body is a map. Every gesture can be a silent prayer, a request for release, a choice for lightness. You don't need to know how to dance. You need to let the body dance, without judgment, without rush. Because every step you take with presence sends a new message to the field. It tells the universe, I am here, I am opening, I am ready to flow. Now imagine combining that movement with the most powerful vibration that exists. Because when the body opens and the heart takes the lead, something different happens. Energy starts to radiate from within. and the world responds. This is the 9th way to raise your vibration: conscious gratitude. It's not about saying thank you out of habit. It's about feeling gratitude as a living presence inside your chest. Not for what you hope will happen, but for what already is, for what already exists, for what you've already overcome. For the simple fact that you're here, breathing, with the chance to choose again. Gratitude is the vibration of abundance. It doesn't ask. It recognizes. And when you recognize from the heart, you attract more of the same frequency. Thoth called this the seal of the initiate, because only an awakened heart is capable of being grateful even in chaos, of seeing purpose even in pain. And this gratitude doesn't need words. Sometimes it's a sigh, a glance toward the sky, a touch on the earth, a memory that warms you. It happens in the invisible, but it transforms everything around. And now, imagine uniting all these forms, breathing with intention, singing with truth, moving with presence, thinking with awareness, drinking energized water, and doing all of it within a vibration of real gratitude. Your field changes. Reality starts to respond differently. The invisible begins to collaborate. But there's still one missing piece. The one that connects all the others. The one that transforms practice into transcendence. The 10th way to raise your vibration: the use of crystals. Because crystals are the Earth's living memories. They are pure structures that store, amplify, and transmit energy. They vibrate, they respond. And if used with awareness, they become powerful allies in your vibrational process. But pay attention, it's not about having many, it's about knowing how to use the right ones. For energetic protection, the most commonly used are black tourmaline, which creates a subtle barrier against external densities, and obsidian, which reveals and dissolves internal shadows. To amplify heart energy and healing, amethyst and rose quartz are portals of transmutation and deep love. For manifestation and focus, citrine and clear quartz are catalysts. They clarify intention and expand the signal you send to the field. But no crystal works on its own. It responds to your vibration, your intention, your care. That's why each time you use it with presence, it aligns with your journey. If you've made it this far, leave a comment saying, "I choose to vibrate differently." That way, I'll know you stayed until the end and that you're ready to take control of your energy. And if you'd like to support this channel more directly, there's a link in the first pinned comment. There, you can contribute, so more people can receive content like this. Any help, no matter how small, makes a huge difference for me and for the growth of this project. But just the fact that you stayed until now, you've already helped a lot. If you want to go further, share this video with someone who needs a reminder of what they're vibrating right now. And don't leave yet. I've set aside a special video waiting for you on the screen. Click it, and I'll see you there.